Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vibrant Health with dōTERRA webinar. I am excited to be here with you today and share with you a portion of what we learned last weekend at the Rise Up retreat. My name is Jo Stutzman, and I am a leader in dōTERRA. So the Rise Up retreat is something that Jen and Jeff Fry have every year. It's not always, it goes by different names, but it was called Rise Up this year. And I would highly recommend it for anyone who is building dōTERRA or sharing dōTERRA. There are no rank requirements, so you can be any rank and attend. You can be executive or manager and attend. They don't put stipulations on it. So I think that's really cool. It's about a day and a half of just a lot of connection with other leaders. There was 450 people there this year, so they keep it small. It's just a really great time of connection, making new friends, collaborating with with others that are doing dōTERRA as a business. And like I said, there's no rank requirements to attend, so it's super affordable. And you get a lot of things included with your registration fee. So they provide meals and lots of goodies, handouts. And you get to learn from doctors, and that's what I'm going to share with you today, is just what I learned from one of the doctors. It's just really, really valuable information. And if you can make it happen next year, I would highly recommend that. So just to give you an idea of what to expect, I'm just going to be going through the PowerPoint that was used out there. So Betty McGill, she's a naturopathic doctor, and I'm just going to be going through her slides and talking briefly on them and sharing my notes. I'm going to attempt to keep this to 30 minutes as promised. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So we'll be moving rather quickly through the slides. You can feel free to take screenshots if you'd like. However, I am recording this, so you can always go back and watch the replay. And that way you can focus more on taking notes if you'd like. All right, so let's get this party started. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so like I said, Vibrant Health with dōTERRA, Betty McGill. She's a Diamond Wellness advocate, a naturopathic doctor, and we're going to be going over what she shared with us. Everybody needs vitamins. Why? Because our food is lacking in nutrients because of soil depletion. What we had years ago, the food that we had was much richer in vitamins and minerals. The soil has been depleted, and so we don't get what we need from that. I'm not going to read through all this. Just like I said, I want to keep moving so that we can make sure and cover everything. All right. Toxins. We are exposed to more toxins in one day than our grandparents were exposed to in their entire lifetimes. You guys have probably heard this multiple times. How does that affect us? Well, they accumulate in every part of our body: organs, glands, systems, muscles, ligaments, tendons, arteries, veins, and it slows down the process, the natural processes of our body. So that's why you have a lot of diseases and chronic illnesses. If our body is overloaded with toxins, just can't handle anymore, and it's going to manifest somehow. Chronic diseases on the rise. Number of people with chronic diseases rapidly increasing. Little study from Johns Hopkins University. Medical errors are the third leading cause of death in the U.S. Lots of mix-ups with doses or types of medications that patients receive. adverse drug reactions. I cannot stop here. I could go into some stories here, people that I know personally that have had some adverse drug reactions, and it's pretty scary when you're relying solely on a doctor for your care. If you're not educating yourself at all, you're kind of at their mercy. And I'm just going to tell you that doctors are not educated in nutrition for the most part. So if you want to really take care of yourself and be proactive, you need to educate yourself. The Mayo Clinic, nearly 70% of Americans on at least one prescription drug. That is a lot. More than 50% take 2. 20% of patients are on 5 or more prescription meds. So, how can you be proactive? Well, we have dōTERRA's Lifelong Vitality. LLV has synergistic effect. So, meaning they all 3 of those work together, which makes them way more powerful than just one of them on their own. Lifelong Vitality and TerraZyme are the minimum that Betty recommends. And here are some things that the Lifelong Vitality helps with. Cellular energy, metabolism, immune system support, stress management, bone and joint health, cardiovascular health, brain health, digestive health, and along with the immune system support, I want to add in there that I have seen people, I personally have customers who used to have allergy issues, seasonal allergies, that experienced a huge decrease in symptoms, if not eliminating them altogether, once they started on this. The LLV has high levels of vitamins, fats, minerals, carbs, and proteins, high level of bioavailability, which means that your body uses everything that you're getting with these vitamins. Optimal levels of phytonutrients and clinically supported benefits. So your vitamins and minerals are in your VMZ, and that's what helps boost the immune system. It helps your cells and organs do their jobs. The VMZ has magnesium in it, which is really, really important for a lot of things. I wanted to talk a little bit too about that. She said that it has chelated minerals, which helps the body to absorb those nutrients. Chelated just helps the minerals bind to your cells so that they actually do what they're supposed to. Now, if you have, we'll get into that. I'll save that for the bone nutrient because that reminded me of something. She said if you're not absorbing nutrients, drinking citrus oils will help clean up your cell receptor sites so that your cells can absorb the nutrients. Protein, which is needed for healthy hair and nails, to build and repair tissues. It's needed to make enzymes, hormones, and other body chemicals. It's needed to build bones, muscles, cartilage, skin, and blood. Carbohydrates, fuel for energy and proper organ function, and fats for brain, joint, and heart health, and healthy cellular growth. So phytonutrients provides antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activities, may enhance immunity and intercellular communication, repair DNA damage from exposure to toxins, also may alter estrogen metabolism. And this is from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, notes that consuming a phytonutrient-rich diet seems to be an effective strategy for reducing cancer and heart disease risks. So, Microplex VMZ has your vitamins. It has an energy complex of B vitamins, again with the chelated minerals, including calcium, magnesium, and zinc. We need that for bone and metabolic health. And then it has the doTERRA Tummy Tamer blend, peppermint, ginger, and caraway to calm the stomach for those who may experience stomach upset with other vitamin and mineral products. Just a few things that you need magnesium for. It's needed for more than 300 biochemical reactions. It helps you maintain a normal nerve and muscle function, and of course supports the immune system. Helps bones remain strong, helps regulate blood glucose levels, and it also assists in the production of energy and protein. I'm not going to read through all this. For those of you who are joining by phone, you'll maybe watch the replay. We're talking about oxidative stress. What is that? It happens in our cells when the amount of free radicals exceeds the amount of antioxidants. So that's when we have oxidation damage. It damages our cells, proteins, and DNA. So just a couple symptoms of that: fatigue, memory loss, muscle or joint pain, wrinkles, and gray hair. You just thought that was part of getting old, didn't you? Decreased eyesight, headaches. And what are some causes of that? It's the chemicals, the pesticides, the things that are in our food or in our air. It's everywhere. You cannot, unless you're going to go live in a bubble somewhere, you're going to be exposed to these toxins every day. So the only thing that you can really do is be proactive and give your body the tools that it needs to overcome that and eliminate those toxins. This just kind of shows you what a free radical is. So a missing electron creates a free radical, which is highly reactive. You know, if Katrina was on, I don't know, is Katrina on? Katrina's really good at explaining that in the way that...
Yes, I'm here. I just did turn my thing off because I was doing some dishes and listening at the same time.
Can you talk to us a little bit about this? What is a free radical and how it reproduces?
Well, I mean, on a really simple level, I mean, you said it really well. A free radical is basically like, you guys are going to laugh because I always do this in the simplest childish way. And just think of it like, we have gas. Well, that's basically what's happening with free radical damage. It's the off gases. It's the free, the cellular damage when it's repeating. It begins to cycle itself in an unhealthy way. And it's just basically the damage that has happened as a result of what you're talking about, the oxidative stress that's coming because of toxins into our bodies. I mean, I'm not going to be able to explain to you in this particular way, but that's always the best way that I think of it. Is free radical damage is when a cell begins to, it gets unhealthy because of the stress that's on it. And then it begins to replicate in an unhealthy way. And so then that just begins to compound and compound. And that's where we get the root of a lot of our disease, is unhealthy cells that just continue to multiply. Is that what you were looking for?
Yes.
You kind of put me on the spot. So I was like, oh, here.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I hope I gave you the answer you were looking for.
Yeah, that makes it super simple. So basically just a lot of toxin buildup that our bodies can't eliminate because they're overworked.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a bathtub that gets plugged.
Yep.
And you try to pull the plug and it won't drain. And so everything you're putting in on top of it, it begins to overflow into a mess. It's not that hard. None of this is really, you don't have to understand neuroscience to get that,
Right. Yeah.
So,
I like that analogy because that goes right along with the next webinar that I have planned for us on detoxing. So that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Okay, so the XE Omega is our fish oil. I love that you do not burp it up, and there's a reason for that. Also, it's like a quarter of the size that most fish oils are, the soft gel itself, so it's really easy to swallow. The reason that we don't burp up fishy tasting stuff is because it is combined with essential oils. And so it assimilates into our body in a way that the body thinks that it's water, and so it just absorbs it, and you're not burping that up. So what do you need XE Omega for? Heart health, brain health, supports the cardiovascular and immune system and your joints. So if you experience a lot of brain fog and sore joints, this can really help you. Promotes cellular growth and brain development, promotes a proper inflammatory response. It is one of the most important aspects of good nutrition and overall health, yet it's also one of the most common deficiencies in the modern diet.
Can I say something about this that's super fresh?
Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday I listened to and passed along, if anyone follows Quick Brain on, or Brain Quick, I forget which one it is, but it's with a K, Kwik, on YouTube. He's a really incredible guy that's all about brain health. And he interviewed yesterday a neuroscientist and nutritionist. So she's combined all that together, and she was speaking about brain health and brain foods and all of these things. It was really, really interesting. But one of the things she was talking about was, and as she was saying it was like, that's our XE Omega. Because she was talking about like the number one brain food is caviar, which most of us could not ever get. So then salmon, wild-caught salmon would be next. And then, of course, a lot of other things that maybe we already know. But she was talking about the importance of getting this in our diet, and what we eat, of course, is always the best first place to get these things. But often we just don't get enough in our diet or the availability. But then she was talking about some of the supplements that are out in the market don't always, like the absorbability, what you're talking about, doesn't happen. And I was just thinking, as she was saying all these things, it is what we need is everything that these omegas have. We've been taught about these omegas and what they do. And like you said, the combination with the essential oils in it, bringing the availability to our bodies in a way that other supplements couldn't do. It was really exciting to me to hear someone, it had nothing to do with doTERRA, but everything that she was saying was what you find in these supplements, whether it's the XE Omega or the other ones that you're going to talk about. So just to reiterate the value of what you're sharing here, it's really, really powerful.
Thank you for that. And as you were speaking there, I remember that, isn't it the Yarrow Palm? Because of the pomegranate, it also has, is it omega-6? I think it's omega-6.
Yeah, it's got some omegas that we don't even normally get. Like I think that is the omega-6. I'm not looking at it, but aren't the 3s and the 6s are what we want, right?
Yes.
And then the other one is the one we don't want, that we get too much of in the American diet. That's
yes.
how I remember it. So yeah, the Yarrow Palm has a good amount of the omegas that are very difficult to find in our regular diet.
Well, or even just in anything. I think it's the only fruit that has an omega in it, I think.
You're right. Yeah.
All right. So super antioxidant, heart, cellular health, immune support. I'm not going to try and say that word. Eye health, helps with eye maintenance. Skin health, it improves skin moisture levels. Elasticity and smoothness, reduces wrinkles, freckles, and spots. And I'm going to go back for a second because I actually have a little testimony from a client I want to share really quick. The E-Omega has tomato fruit. It's an extract from tomato fruit, and I forget right now what it's called. It is super beneficial in helping to balance blood pressure levels. And one of my customers did a little experiment. She was experiencing high blood pressure levels, was on medication that wasn't doing what she needed it to do. She went on the Lifelong Vitality and noticed a difference within a week or two. And she was really shocked because her blood pressure was closer to normal than it had ever been. So I just wanted to throw that in there too. If you have people who are looking for something to use to get off of blood pressure medications, I would definitely start with this. The Alpha CRS is the one, very simply put, I tell people it's the one that gives you energy and helps reduce joint and muscle pain. It aids in inhibiting the oxidation process that creates free radicals, huge for cellular support. Okay, I thought this was interesting. Here's what you would need if you were trying to get the same nutrients that you get out of the Lifelong Vitality by just taking some of these other foods or juices. So you would need, would take the following 1 ounce servings of juice to provide the equivalent caloric value of 1 daily serving of Alpha CRS, XE-Omega, Microplex, BMC, and I didn't count all those, but that's a lot. 50 servings of highest level Ningxia wolfberry juice, or 1,450 servings of top-selling acai berry juice, 10,000 servings of top-selling mangosteen juice, and 15,000 servings of top-selling noni juice. That's a lot. I don't I don't even know how you would consume all that in one day. So you can see how taking the Lifelong Vitality is much simpler and more cost effective. Okay, the Terrazyme. Again, this is just as important as taking the Lifelong Vitality. You need enzymes for digesting food, stimulating the brain, providing cellular energy, repairing all tissues, organs, and cells. There are actually 3 types of enzymes. I thought there was only 2, so I learned something. There are metabolic enzymes, digestive enzymes, and food enzymes. Metabolic enzymes spark the reactions within the cells. Your body's organs, tissues, and cells are run by metabolic enzymes. Without them, our bodies would not work. It helps to turn phosphorus into bone. So just to help you think about some people that could help, anybody who has maybe broken a bone recently or any kind of bone issues, this would be incredibly helpful. Attaching iron to our red blood cells, healing wounds, thinking. Who doesn't need to do that more clearly, right? And making a heartbeat. Digestive enzymes break down our foods. That allows the food nutrients to be absorbed into the bloodstream and used in body functions. It ensures that we get the greatest possible nutritional value from our foods. So we used to get enzymes from our vegetables, and the best time to pick and eat a vegetable is when it ripens on the plant. Well, we know that when we buy vegetables from the store, they've been picked way before they're ripe. So on top of the soil being depleted, which doesn't let you have as many nutrients in the vegetables, you're also getting a vegetable that's picked early, so you're not getting the enzymes with it that you need. So that's why you need the Terrazyme. 8 whole food enzymes that are often deficient in cooked, processed, and preservative-laden foods. That's what Terrazyme provides for you. I'm not going to read through all this, but I will say one thing: the lactase that is present in Terrazyme, it breaks down lactose that is found in milk sugars. So when they decided to that milk had to be homogenized and pasteurized, and they took all the excuse me, all the good stuff out of it. So your milk should actually have lactase in it, but it doesn't, not the milk that you buy at the store, which is why a lot of people end up lactose intolerant, because you're not getting that balance anymore. So this can help with that too, the Terrazyme. Now, Betty said that she recommends, well, she didn't say recommend, she said you need to be taking 2 of these with every meal for, you know, the maximum benefit. I kind of went through this already. The food enzymes supplied through the foods we eat to aid in our digestion of foods. It's supplied so we don't use as many of the body's in-house enzymes in the digestive process. The more food enzymes you get, the longer and healthier you live. Food enzymes are actually destroyed at temperatures above 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So cooked and processed foods contain few, if any, enzymes. And we know that the typical North American diet is enzyme deficient. So that's why this Terrazyme is so important. PB Assist is our probiotic. Promotes positive balance and proliferation of beneficial bacteria. Supports healthy functioning of the digestive and immune system. Promotes health of the GI tract, especially the colon and intestines. This is also super helpful for, again, people that experience a lot of seasonal allergies. I have noticed a difference even in kids, you know, that struggle with that. We have the kids probiotic too. Probiotic also supports optimal metabolism and absorption of food. Improve your mood. I bet you didn't think of probiotic doing that, huh? Possible anxiety and depression support, positively affects brain function, better handles stress, and of course alters the gut bacteria. DDR prime is stands for damaged DNA repair. So it contains frankincense, wild orange, lemongrass, thyme, cloves, summer savory, and aioli. It helps with antioxidant protection as well. The bone nutrient complex. This is an awesome supplement that I think that everybody over the age of like 10 should be on. Supports healthy bones and overall health. And it's not, even though it says women, it's not just for women. Men can take it too. And one of the things she said about bone nutrient, which was, I was really thankful for, because I actually have a client who struggles with this. She cannot use anything that has calcium in it. It just throws her body into crazy, like, she just gets really bad reactions from anything with calcium. The reason for that is because her cells are more than likely covered up with toxins, and so the calcium is not absorbing, and so she has an overload, which produces negative side effects. So to help that, what Betty recommended was using citrus oils in the water to help clean up those cell receptor sites, which would allow the calcium to absorb. Zendocrine detoxification complex. It's supposed to be released again this month, or available again this month. This is huge. I heard a couple of times last weekend some ways to use this that I hadn't thought about before. So if you have someone who has a bad reaction to the Lifelong Vitality, because it will detox you. So if they are having a lot of like flu-like symptoms, or just really, it's really getting them down and they're feeling really bad, what she recommended was that you take them off the LLV and instead you put them on the Zendocrine complex along with Terrazyme. And I would also say citrus oils, and do that for 1 to 3 months. and then reintroduce the lifelong vitality. So this is a gentler way to detox, and we'll get more into that in our next webinar too on the detox, but huge for helping those who are maybe so toxic that they can't handle the lifelong vitality right away. Phytoestrogen promotes estrogenic activity without producing estrogen. Many doctors use phytoestrogen instead of hormone replacement therapy. Estrogen helps improve the thickness of skin and the collagen content, which prevents aging, helps preserve bone strength and prevent bone loss, regulates cholesterol production in the liver, helping to protect the heart and arteries, and it can help maintain body temperature, regulate the part of the brain linked to sexual development, and enhance the effects of the brain's feel good. Estrogen in men, testosterone converts to estrogen in men as they age due to an aromatase reaction resulting in less testosterone. So they can also use the phytoestrogen. Again, it's a natural product, so it's not going to negatively affect them. Mito-2 Max is our energy and stamina complex. It supports the adrenal system. So it's a natural way to give you an extra energy boost without, you know, like some of the bad things that are in energy drinks. We also have children's vitamins, the IQ Mega and the A to Z chewable tablets. Very, very, like one of the best things that you could do for your child is putting them on this and giving them a really good foundation. So summing it all up, everybody needs lifelong vitality and Terrazyme at the bare minimum. If you have digestive issues, add in the PB Assist, Zendocrine, cellular, you know, for extracellular support, add in the DDR Prime and the Mito-2 Max. If you're stressed and fatigued, the Mito-2 Max DDR Prime, hormone health, phytoestrogen and Mito-2 Max, bones and minerals, the bone nutrient. And if you're struggling or dealing with a lot of chemical overload in the body, Zendocrine is your best friend. Now, some people might say, well, this all sounds great and I would love to be able to use these, but I just can't afford it. I want you to think about this. So the Lifelong Vitality Pack with the Terrazyme added on, okay, you're going to spend about $100, okay? If even just starting out, all you can do is a half of a dose instead of the full dose, that $100 pack would last you for 2 months. So now you're down to $50. If you consider that you're getting points back for it, which if you're on the loyalty rewards program, you'd be getting points back. If you're at 30%, you would get $21 back. So now you're down to $40 a month. And what I would recommend is just figure it into your grocery budget. You have to buy groceries, right? Maybe you don't eat out one time a month, or maybe you take it from, you know, somewhere else. But if you figure it into your grocery budget, maybe that makes it more doable, because this is huge. I mean, if you really want to have a vitality, if you want to have a good quality of life, this is where how you can do that. Where are we at on time? I already went over. Okay. We'll slide through these really quick. So she talked about electromagnetic frequencies, which comes from, you know, electronic devices. I'm not going to read through all this. Like I said, this is all recorded, so you can go back and check this out. But I thought this was interesting. And she did have some recommendations for EMF exposure, the Lifelong Vitality DDR Prime and Terra Greens, which was surprising to me. I wouldn't have thought of that one. And oils that can help with electromagnetic frequencies: frankincense, basil, rosemary, vetiver, thyme, spikenard, and turmeric. Okay, that was pretty much it. However, I had some little extra. So Betty actually does seminars, and I thought it would be really awesome if at some point we could get her here. This is kind of goes through level 1, level 2, and level 3. It's a day and a half, Friday night and all day Saturday, or if you just did one seminar, there's a different fee for that. Very cost effective. So if that's something that we want to talk about later, I think that would be really awesome to get her here and have one of those. Okay, so tentatively, here's the dates for the next. I have a lot of things to share with you guys. So Thursday, April 18th at 12 p.m., we'll talk about detoxing from Stephanie Coxon. And then they did a tax seminar too. Jeff Fry did a thing on taxes. So I thought I would do that at 12:30, share with you what he shared. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I do have a couple other things that I wanted to let you know. I will be sending out the recording of this to everyone on my team because I have all their emails. And Katrina, I will send it to you along with the PowerPoint if you want. And then if you want to share it with your people, that would make it a little more, make it a little easier on my end. I have this problem where I get really excited about sharing things and I want to share it with everybody and I forget about some of the logistics. And I know you guys don't want to give out your email address like every time that we do one of these. So Katrina, is that okay?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's the best way to get it out is to send it to the leaders and let them take care of the people underneath them.
Yeah.
Do we have permission to share some of those slides as like a post within our community? Because there was a couple really great posts there that are slides that I would love to create a post from, but I don't want to do that if that's violating something.
They didn't say that we could or that we couldn't. Okay. When I do the recording, it's going to be a private, so you're going to need a password. I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I screenshotted a couple things, and I just wanted to make sure it was okay to post that before, because there was some really great information there.
I guess that I'm going to leave that up to your discretion within your own group. I would ask that you don't share the recording just to protect the doctors that spoke. I just want to protect their privacy. If you want to email it to somebody on your team, that's totally fine, but I would rather it's not floating around out there on social media.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
So we'll follow the same process for the upcoming webinars too. I'll create a post just like I did, and then I'll make sure that you get the link, Katrina, and then you can share it with your team, and we can do it like that. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I was muted. Awesome. Thanks for sharing this information. It was really valuable. I'm glad that you made that clarification about the enzymes, because that's what I had been taught too, that there were 2 and you said there were 3. So I want to go back and re-listen to that a little bit more carefully.
Okay. And I will send you the PowerPoint if you'd like, so that if you wanted to do like a class on this or something, you would be able to do that.
That would be awesome. Judy I can pass it on to Judy too, because I'm pretty sure she would love to. She's muted at the moment, but I think I can speak for her.
Yeah, okay. I'll put that in the email with your recording, and then you can share it with whoever you want to share it with.
Okay. And I do think that would be awesome to have, let's look into maybe doing that, having Betty come.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really, really great. It's super, I thought it was super affordable for what she offers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have some people in my area that would probably be interested, so.
Okay.
John, did you want to say something?
Well, I think Laura was going to try to say something first, but have her go ahead. I think.
Lori?
Oh, okay. She just coughed. Okay, Lori. Yeah,
No. Hi, John. No, I'm just
I was gonna say something.
excited listening.
I was gonna say something. Let me sum it up in a nutshell. I mean, we've all seen this before, but let me sum it up in a nutshell. I get the question all the time, how many vitamins and all that, and oh my gosh, I can't believe you take 32 vitamins or 32 supplements a day or whatever it may be. I get that all the time. This, even though we've had it solidified, this really solidified it for me. I think everybody, when she said the Terrazyme, you should be on 6 a day, I think everybody's mouth dropped like, oh my gosh, we've never been told that. And then she explained why. I've always said, even though I've researched it, I don't know if DDR prime is helping me, but I still take it. And this solidified that. I mean, it's just like the bottom line for me was we're not getting what we need to. I don't care. And she made that point perfectly clear. She said, I don't care if you're eating 100% organic, all natural, 100%. You're not going to get the nutrients that you need from what we're getting out. You're just not getting them, plain and simple. And it was Katrina summed it up very well. Think once your body gets toxin overload, there actually is a balance. They talked about that very quickly, but you've got to have some toxins in your body at all time. And once we get past that balance, then nothing works great. And I think you summed it up the best with the bathtub. I really do, because that's right. Very simple. That's what I try to put in simple terms for everybody, because it resonates very quickly. So for me, it just resonated. I know that Dr. Hill said this 2 years ago at convention, and he showed the chart and everything, and that resonated. But this again resonated. Sooner or later, you're going to take a pill. Right now, you get to decide. Later, you don't. And I think half the battle is that a lot of people, I hear it all the time. Half the battle is, well, I'm not sick. I don't need On Guard. I don't need vitamins. I'm 20 years old. I don't need vitamins. Now the person that's 30, maybe not so much the person that's 40, and then all of a sudden you're 50. There's a song about that. But anyway,
just how about 60?
Well,
no, I'm not kidding. The vitamins, you have to. And the pills that the doctors give when you're counting your vitamins, give me a break. Look at how many pill slots that people have to take because the doctors tell them that they need them, but yet they want to raise holy hell when you tell them that, you should try these vitamins. Vitamins got a bad rap because of the coating that they put on the outside, and that said that all it does for you is give you expensive urine. For real, but this is not like this. So this is the hurdle that I see that doTERRA's really gotten over. And by the way, I talked to Dr. Flannery, Joe, and he's interested.
Okay, awesome.
He said he's definitely going to give it a look and a listen. And I talked to Alex last night, and she's going to talk to what's his name? Her doctor.
Okay.
Well, and so, just to build on what you said, John, the difference in the pills. So one is contributing to our health, one is not. If you get stuck on a medication, that's not going to contribute to your health. They won't even say that that's what it's doing. It will not promote healing. Nutrition is our best medicine, and that we have to supplement with whole food supplements to get that nutrition. And that's the best medicine we could ever take.
And I thought it was very interesting that, she goes, I don't care if you're 100% on all natural, organic, 100% whole foods. It's not going to happen on the American diet. Plain and simple.
Well, just to give you an idea of what we are getting, how full of nutrients this Lifelong Vitality is. If you had to go purchase foods that had the same amount and the same quality of nutrients in it that you are getting out of the Lifelong Vitality, you would spend over $900 a month.
Oh, wow.
Now that was at convention last year. That came from dōTERRA. That's not something I made up. That's what they said. So it's pretty priceless, because I don't know too many people that would want to spend $900 a month, let alone consume that much
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables to get all those
And
nutrients.
to speak to the cost that you were addressing at the end of the webinar, Shelby's got such a great take on this as well. And I think I do too, from the standpoint of finances. And that's, you find the money for what you value. And the bottom line is, anyone can afford this if they really understand the value. And like John said, when you have understanding of how something works within your body, it gives you a greater commitment to it.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. And that was my issue. But when you're married to someone and they have their doubts and they have a big say onto, our budget and what we're allowable. When I explained how excited I was so jazzed yesterday after talking to Joe. I was like bouncing off the walls. And JP was really excited about hearing about this. And he said, was this something you could make some money? I go, JP, this is the dōTERRA. I said, yes. And I said, but they have come so far. They've come so far since. And I said, I would like to be their salesperson until I can get back into it again, where I can afford to be a rep and all that. But I want to take all the vitamins. I want to be living proof.
And you absolutely can. And I wanted to throw something else in here too. I forgot to say about the phytoestrogen. I would not have thought of this. It helps with brain problems.
Talking to me.
Yeah. I'm just throwing that out there for everyone.
Right. I hear you. So memory is what you're saying.
Memory, yeah. All kinds of brain issues. So
Are we still on recording?
We are on recording. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Join me on Thursday the 18th. That's the tentative date for right now. We're going to be talking about detox, aluminum detox. It might be simpler than what you think. And we'll also be touching on gluten intolerance. So mark your calendars to join me live on Thursday the 18th. Thank you, everyone who contributed, and I will get this recording out to those of you who attended live.